Hey everybody, it's Nils with Stoney and we back jumping right into the video. This is part 3. We've already gone through all of our prep. Now we're just going down and chopping down those tips. Pretty much you can use scissors, you can use what you got at this point. You're just pretty much getting them down to the size or length that you want them. They are a little crooked. My fingers do not work out properly, so some of them gonna look a little wonky on me, but that's okay. This is my journey. This is my growth. This is what we're trying to achieve. At that point, I had lost my hand file. Well, not lost. I misplaced my hand file. So I did try to go in with my e-file to shape up the nails. This part is totally up to you. If you already have nail tips that are shaped and you like the shape of them, you don't have to do this step. My nail tips were just a little bit wider, I felt like, because I have wide nail beds. So I ended up wanting them a little bit tapered. I like more of a tapered look. When it's easier to do things, and I just like the way it looks. I don't like a big chunky square. Found my hand file, so now we're gonna go ahead and file in the size. That's a Tammy Taylor peel and stick file, so you can literally just peel off that thing and have a new grit. They sell them in 180s and 100 grits, I believe. And I also do have my dust collector on at the bottom of this just to make sure everything flows through properly. This is sped up, so I don't usually go this fast. Essentially, it takes me for filing about 30 minutes when it comes to shaping up the natural or the nail tip, not natural nail tip. So this does take quite a little bit of time because you want it to be shaped how you want it. Then I just go in, get all that dust off with the micellar water and a nice brush. Get in there, scrub all the little bits and pieces away, and then I kind of fan it to let it air dry out. This step is not necessary. If you want to just wipe it with alcohol, you can definitely do that. Now we're going to get into the poly gel. I'm using 91% alcohol, and we are using Mochi acrylic gel, acrogel. I keep saying acrylic gel, acrogel. And it's in the color almond. It's my first time using that color. But y'all, it came out so pretty. Like, I feel like all of their nudes are like made for everybody. They have a nude for everybody. A lot of brands come out and they don't have a nude for everybody. And they do. And I love that about them. So now I'm just kind of trying to figure out the best angle. There are going to be times where you'll see the video just kind of skip to the next thing because I went out of frame a lot. So there was a lot of pieces that y'all will miss, including a lot of the fingers. Like, I pretty much got the pinky, the ring finger, and maybe a little bit of the pointer finger in there as far as doing the poly gel. But again, this is just to kind of see my growth, see my journey. I just want to have something to look back on when 2 years from now I got the bestest nails ever. And I'm like, oh my God, look at where I started, you know? I just want to have that peace of mind. And excess poly gel you can reuse. Like that little stuff, you see that? I just popped it right up from the under the nail, slapped that thing right back on there. And I think this day that I did my nails, I was in a complete rush. So they do come out pretty thin, but I believe the following week I went in and did a fill, and then I made them really, really, well, not really thick, but thicker. I like to have thicker nails because I do a lot of hard-working stuff with my nails at work, like moving boxes, picking up stuff, moving trash. So they got to be durable for me to be able to still do my work. But then they're still cute. They're a little chunky, but they cute. Remember, with poly gel, you want to do a patting motion. You want to not press down on it. You want to pat, pat, pat. And you don't want your brush soaked with alcohol. You want it just a little bit damp. I'm going to kind of zoom in here, so hold on. Okay, I felt like y'all would be able to see it a little bit better if I kind of like zoomed in on it. I know it's not focused properly, but getting into those cuticle areas, you want to leave it thin, but not too thin, because you want to still have your apex. I think where I went wrong on this set was I put my apex too far down, too close to the edge of the nail versus closer to the cuticle. And that's where I'm kind of finding that sweet spot the more that I do nails. And each brand is going to be different because the consistency of the poly gel is different. With these ones, I was just trying to do the 1B method, but I'll go ahead and zoom back out. And I did have to like switch the angle because I felt like I just kept moving out of frame. In this video, I got out of frame a lot. Like, there was over an hour worth of footage when I started editing. And let's just say about half of that footage was me out of frame. I'm working on it. The next video that I have that's dropping of me doing my polygel, I think that when I'm way more in frame, I kind of switched how I got everything set up to where I'll be able to see a lot more stuff. I'm having to edit it down pretty much and just show y'all the parts that have footage because I was out of frame so much. But like I said, y'all pretty much missed the whole freaking set on this one. The next video will be better, but I'm not going to just skip over and do that video just because this one didn't come out good. I'm still going to show y'all because this is growth. This is what happens on a nail journey. I wiped them down with the micellar water and alcohol. Now we're just going to take our 5-in-1. I do take the sanding band off, yeah. Because I use a 5-in-1 so that way I can get those cuticles nice and flushed. Once I've done the 5-in-1, I go back in with the hand file and sanding band to kind of sand everything down and get it where I want it to be. So the main thing is keeping it at a low speed, especially while you're working on that cuticle area. I usually do 2 or 3 RPMs just so that way I'm not giving myself no ring of fires or nothing like that. And it can still happen. Even if you have product on the nails, if your product is thin in certain areas, you can still get the ring of fire. I do kind of use this to shape it a little bit. At this point, I did turn the speed up, I think. And I should not have been working near my cuticles at that speed. Because I want to say that's probably like 10 RPMs. Just by the way that it's moving. But essentially, you want to go through each and every nail. So that way you can, like, not smooth it out. The 5-in-1 bit does kind of smooth it out, make it all kind of the same. But then when you go on with that sanding, man, that's what's really going to, like, get everything smooth and ready to go for, like, your top coat. You still need to buff the nails. I don't think I even showed y'all me buffing or me top coating. My phone, it ended up dying, so that's really why I jumped from the second nail all the way to the end. I looked up, and it wasn't even recording no more because the phone was dead. I wasn't paying attention to the TV, so I don't know. I think I got a better setup to where I don't have a choice but to look at the TV kind of deal. So it'll be a lot better moving forward with the videos. But I've pretty much said all that I have to say in this video. I'll probably throw on some music because there's only a few minutes left. And then I'll jump back in if there's anything else that I need to say. So hopefully you guys are enjoying the videos. Hopefully you're learning something. If you are, drop it in the comments. Tell me what you learned from watching the couple of videos that I have done. Or if you got some tips or tricks for me because you seen something that I was doing that don't look the best or safe, you know? I've tried to perfect my craft over the years, but I think of it like this. If you work on something and you continue to work on it, you will get better. But if you don't work on it, you're not going to get better. So I'm taking maybe once or twice a week to go through and do my nail care stuff for my actual nails. And then the other days of the week, do what I want to do, you know? Take a couple days each week and do something with your craft. I feel like I'm more of a hobbyist. I have a lot of hobbies. I like to crochet. Well, I'm not going to say I like to crochet. I'm learning to crochet. I'm learning to do my nails. I enjoy doing things. I do go back in with the hand file. Like I said, in between the 5-in-1, I do the hand file. And then I go back in with the sanding band. And usually, once I have the polygel on my nails, I'll use a 180 sanding band because now you have product on the nails. When you're doing your natural nails, you only want to do a 240 grit. But yeah, pretty much the end of the video is just me filing up the nails, throwing some cuticle oil on top. I don't have any after videos of the nails. Normally I'll film an after piece, but on this set, I don't think I was happy with where it was because of how thin it was. So I don't think I did all that. But the next, where I do the fill portion, you'll be able to see that. Because the next video I'm releasing will be the other hand I did builder gel on. Well, Builder Color Base is what it's called from Beetles. But yeah, that'll be in the next video. So I hope to see you guys there.